There we go. So let's just have a little look here. Okie dokie. So in terms of the actual SEO tasks then, Myrna, this is a question for you. What kind of methods do you use with a brand new client? Like, what's the first thing that you do? Oh, you're not speaking, darling.
I muted myself because
there you go. I've done that.
Uh, so normally we have a look at their local. We do the GVP, and we have a look at whether everything is canonical, everything corresponds with what it needs to be. That's, I think, our first step, isn't it? We usually just check that they're
with a local client. Yeah, we'll do their GBP, but this is
with
a bit different, isn't it?
And normally we have a look at local. What is that called? I mean, not SEMrush, but Right Local, and we have a look at how they are basically ranking across the board and whatever. But in this case, because what they do is so specific, it's been quite hard just to sort of see where they are in the main frame, because it's not a dentist next door that we want people to walk into.
So I have worked in similar industries and currently got a client that does blood tests. And also I've worked with another doctor who did, what was it called? The pregnancy type E fertility clinic, that's the word, fertility clinic for both men and ladies. And so this was also their testing, and they use Superdrug around the UK as part of their pathology. But you guys said that this isn't just in the UK, this is actually in Europe as well.
It's Europe wide, but I mean, if we could rank them in the UK, that would be more than a good start.
Worry about that. 1 point difference somewhere.
I mean, I think what we've done before, because we mainly work for smaller healthcare clinics, and if we identify, and the same when I've worked for bloggers and so on, if we identify, okay, these are the keywords that we want to go after based on, what they do, volume and difficulty, and so these are what we're going to target, then create some optimized content around that. And then we start looking at, okay, link building. And normally we would have got somewhere just by creating the optimized content and fixing any tech SEO issues. Then now we're link building, i.e. we're doing directories, we're doing guest posts for people, that sort of thing. And we're kind of questioning the efficacy of doing the guest posts in particular, and saying if we're just basically, we're on like Adsy and link.builders and we find websites that will accept guest posts, we guest post, link back to the client, and we're saying the way Google is going with the increasing relevancy and quality content is chopping out not particularly amazing blog posts and stuffing them on websites that are full of not particularly amazing blog posts. Is it really helping?
Anything that you're doing, or everything that you've mentioned is the right way. So there's no negative. So therefore it has the potential to do something. So there is, I can't pick anything apart from what you've just said to me.
Okay.
The biggest thing that strikes me is that this is a UK-wide agency. So let's just take, for example, your first search phrase. So blood pathology UK. And then you've said
I think they're blood pathology is like a subheading. So the first one we're targeting there is pathology services.
Right, got you, pathology services. Right, okay. This is going to be hyper competitive, especially with a domain that's only 4 years old. And is this their foray, their first like SEO company that they've hired, or have you taken over from someone else?
Yeah, no. This is they've got quite well established, and now they've said, we can expand further if we actually ranked on Google, which was why I was surprised to find the first thing we found is, well, their robots text was blocking absolutely everything. So
I'm
and I kind of thought if we unblocked that overnight, they'd rank much better for something, and we go, look, it's worked already. But no, absolutely nothing. We're getting close to 3 months and still we're tracking, I don't know how many terms in SEMrush, and none of them are ranking anywhere. It's just horrible.
Okay.
I know when we Google this, yeah, we're looking at lots of NHS results, various different places around the country. We're also looking at things like the doctor's laboratory, looking at Randox, big companies that have been around a long time. And yeah, we don't necessarily expect to rank like page 1 overnight or anything like that, but it would be nice to rank in the top 100.
So the way that I work is that although tools are a good indication, a lot of them are based in America, so they won't give accurate Google ranking positions. So I'm very much an old school girl, and I search incognito and I manually check for which page. So for me, I only search manually for the first 5 pages.
Okay.
So in this kind of thing, you're not going to get to position 1 because obviously you've got NHS. You're not going to get to position 2 because of Nuffield and the amount of time and just domain authority that they've got. And I already know Unilabs as well. I think this might be a case of more not what you're doing wrong, is more agreeing to what the client wants without trying to say, we can't shoot straight for the moon for some hyper competitive keywords where you've got the NHS. I really do think it's a good idea to bring the client back in and ask them and say, look, we need to target some longer tail keywords here because we need to prove to you that what we are doing is right. And currently, because we're targeting these, 2 high profile keywords in one search phrase, with or without UK and Europe, it's just what you've done here with such a young domain is that everybody else in front of you has been doing link building, domain authority and everything for years beforehand. So you've joined the marathon at the back. So it's not really just to keeping pace with a normal marathon lap. You actually have to be better than everyone else. And if your services are all in-house and you're saying that you're trying your best with the link building and you've got the content, going on and you're targeting each blog post and so on and so forth, there's nothing wrong with that. I can't pick anything out of that. But I do feel is that in terms of expectations, it's your job to manage the expectations with the client. I mean, what have you got in writing with them, or have you met with them? I know that you've done the keyword research, I can see that, but did the client provide you with that, or was this kind of like your own engine?
No, that was totally us, just based on first of all, lots of conversations to actually understand what they do in the first place, because they do also do metagenomic sequencing, which I kind of went, huh? I don't know, big explaining all this kind of thing. Then going back, if you look at primary and secondary, we've got maybe potentially easier secondary keywords, so like H. pylori stool test lab, rather than just pathology lab. It might be a bit easier. And then also the different kinds of sequencing that they do under metagenomic and microbiome sequencing. So for example, shotgun sequencing lab UK, this kind of where it says 4 times sequencing methods. And there you might want maybe skin microbiome sequencing UK. That would be a lot easier than just microbiome sequencing. Now, the trouble is creating the on-site content with this client in the first place is a slow process. So we've done that page for pathology services. That's the first page that we've created for them. That's the one, yeah. And that's optimized for pathology services in their main terms. So now what we're doing is creating sub pages of that to hit subterms and subterms and so on and so forth, which is going to be these ones. So there'll be a page for each of those different services there and so on, and then different testing techniques and so on. It takes a long time, first because with the physiotherapist we can kind of write it for them, whereas with blood labs and sequencing labs we have to go back and forth with them to get the text right.
The accuracy,
other thing is the CMS they have is just horrible, and it takes 3 times longer to create a page than it does anywhere else. We absolutely hate it. We've had to just code a lot of this, to be honest, because it's so horrible.
I'm sorry, but no, I know where you're coming on with that. Let's just have a look. I'm just going to run a quick. One of my favorite ones is HubSpot. Let's have a look at that. So are you saying that this content, what I'm looking at right now, has been produced by you guys, and this is yeah. And what do you think is missing from here?
I think it's there. In fact, this is optimized for pathology services and then secondary diagnostic lab. And when we didn't get anywhere, I ran it through SEMrush's on-page SEO checker, which I don't normally do, if I'm honest, because I think, well, you got to take all the tools with a pinch of salt. And it came back and said, yeah, great, it's possibly a bit over-optimized. So I just removed pathology services from some of the H2s and that sort of thing, just to try not to over-egg the pudding, really. And now we're just building we just started building a few guest posts back to it and that sort of thing again, trying to look for some decent guest posts. I mean, it is there for conversion as well, which is why we've taken some time to make it look decent. We want people who are looking for it to land on it and go, yeah, okay, that looks nice.
Okay, so the 101 of SEO basics is that you have the hierarchy of the headers. So you've got the title tag, then you've got the H1, then the H2. I do think that this is a H2.
That should be an H2.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
but
go.
Yeah. These down here are H6s.
Oh, they should be H3s. Yeah.
And 24-hour turnaround. And again, with this H2, your important keywords should go at the beginning in terms of like, what are people going to tap the keyboard with their fingers or ask a smart speaker? You know, people aren't going to search for a leading diagnostic lab. Also, you haven't got the semantic keywords here. So lab could have an autocorrect with Google for laboratory. I think also it is quite generic because you've got London here, but you haven't mentioned, have you mentioned Europe, Central London? It might be worth doing two versions of this, one for the European market and one for the UK. But also starting off by optimizing it for London. And again, if you go back to the client and say, look, we're still working on ranking this for UK wide, but we've got to start somewhere and we're going to start with London. But yet again, that's another big problem in itself because there's nowhere else in the UK that's more competitive than London. So with the IV testing, they had a clinic at Canary Wharf. So I ranked them for IV testing Canary Wharf in like a week, because obviously that's, you know, but the client was really impressed. And then I said, well, whereabouts is Canary Wharf in terms of like central, northeast, south London? And then, so we did Canary Wharf and then we expanded it to the north, south, east and west of London. And then we're looking at just the actual London or central London or even city.
Yeah.
So all of it.
So did you just change the optimization? So you started off optimizing for Canary Wharf, and then once you scored Canary Wharf, how did you then move to, you know, the other parts of London without losing Canary Wharf?
Have you checked your security as well? Oh, no, that's 10. I'm trying to think of the website name. I'll tell you what, I'll just do IVF Canary Wharf. I can't remember their blooming name. Man, it was there we go. Fana, that's it. IVF Matters, that's it. And so let's have a look. They've changed everything. I optimized this homepage for everything. I mean, like with this, now they've had somebody in, which is with this H2, your age has played a pivotal role. And actually, this is terrible. I had all the internal linking going on here. And then with the blog, I had the blog linking to the landing page or the main category page. And then I had internal linking between everything. When you say that you thought that maybe this was over optimized because you saw it on a tool that spat out this information, and again, the basic of SEO1 is SEO 101 is to internal link between the pages with also the anchor keyword text. And I can't see any internal linking here unless
That's where, I mean, there's not that much really, Nina, that's relevant at the moment. But you see, you've got those 4 different services just in the section above. We've got immunity testing, stool testing, blood pathology. So there will be then, you know, sort of a sub page for each of those, which we can then link to from that page and then link back to this page from those pages and so on. But there's really nothing else. There's one other page which we do need to link to, which is all the different packages and markers, but there's not really much else there to link to that's to do with pathology services.
Am I going mad, or do they not have a news or a blog section?
No. That's something that you've said, you know, we want to have, but once, I mean, the first thing is to get the service pages and the sub-service pages built and optimized, and then we can start saying, okay, now let's have a blog which backs those up.
Ah, right. My method is different. So
okay,
much the same with Canary Wharf. I would write a blog post about Canary Wharf. And then because the home page is the most influential page that any search engine would look at, I would actually add a small piece of SEO content, you know, not a huge paragraph or anything. So, you know, you can find us in Canary Wharf. Canary Wharf would be the internal link to the blog post about that, but also backed up with a YouTube video, because who owns YouTube? So they've got similar ranking capabilities, and I did a talk on this last month at Brighton SEO. There are several ranking factors that are married in between Google and YouTube. So for example, with IVF testing, it was easy for me to get them ranking on YouTube, but also you've got a secondary thing, because you know that if you Google anything these days, you get served YouTube videos, because obviously it's owned by Google. So you've got the double potential of traffic. You've got the YouTube traffic, and then because you've optimized your videos, video SEO, they will potentially land in Google SERPs, and also they can actually influence a featured snippet. I've done testing myself where I've had a client that's had like a 2-3-year-old blog that I wrote in lockdown, and then I'm thinking, oh, let's just go and, you know, refresh and redo. And these were old blogs, and I followed on from another SEO person, if you know what I mean. And so I've done some videos for the later work, but I haven't done anything for that. Did that, and I got a featured snippet for something like Victorian tile cleaning. I know it sounds a bit drab compared to this exciting thing. So I think just widen your scope to, rather than just concentrating on this, is that think, okay, I'm going to do 3 blog posts, and then I'm going to optimize 3 of these landing pages, and then the subcategories. And then with those 3, you've got at least 9, haven't you? 3 times 3. Oh, in fact, no, that would be more. So you've got all of the internal links going between all of them, plus you've got a video in there as well. The internal linking alone is going to do things. I mean, in terms of the CMS, how are you approaching alt tags?
They should. I don't know actually, and I should do, but the short answer is I don't actually know. Do you want to have a little look, inspect one, and see if I've done it?
Let's have a look. Alt 17. Right, okay, so the logo has got the alt of, okay, so why would you think that I'm going to argue with you about that alt tag on their logo? Because I'm not a yes girl.
Because we're not using any keywords.
Yeah.
We need to say what it's doing. Yeah, okay, optimize the alt tags as well.
Yeah. So with salient.bio, that is their brand name. So am I guessing that if I go into incognito and do salient.bio, if I can type, yeah, so they're top of Google. So the point of SEO is to rank a website for terms that people aren't aware of their brand name. Much the same as when I work for Funky Pigeon, you wouldn't know that Funky Pigeon do personalized cards. So whereas everybody's saying welcome to Funky Pigeon, Google's not going to rank you for the words welcome to or Funky Pigeon.
Yeah.
So with salient.bio, but again with accessibility and SEO, and I did an accessibility webinar, not last week, maybe the week before, very recently, and there was a lot of not conflict, arguing, I'd say. One of the girls there said about, and a very, very valid point, which we all know, is that they're there to help people with sight issues that they can't see. So you do need the brand name there to separate them from anything else to do with pathology services. I would probably be cheeky and put pathology services UK, Europe, salient.bio, and then maybe the other categories as well, blood, or fit test. That
okay.
So let's have a look at the other one.
See if I've actually done.
Yeah, these are the H6s. Alt tag, unsplash. Okay, so that looks
Yeah, no, that's the source, isn't it? But yeah, the alt tag obviously isn't set there.
Yeah.
But that's pretty weak on our part, Nin, not to have optimized the alt tags, if I'm honest with you.
I mean, that working in this industry, I completely get it, because if I'm not a mum, so for me to be writing for a private fertility clinic is insane, because I've got no idea about the first stages of pregnancy. So there was a lot of back and forth and educating me to be educated enough to write for the client. And remember, this is in the pandemic, pre AI. So there was no LLM.
Can I just ask a question at that point in? Like, I've stopped after a while really optimizing alt tags that much, but really just being descriptive and saying, well, okay, this is what's in the picture. And then, I mean, for example, a lot of what we do is for osteopaths, and then the images would be like lady having osteopathic treatment, osteopath discussing with patient, and that sort of thing. But I sort of do that less and less, because I think, well, let's just keep it descriptive, because that's what Google say they want.
I have to confess, I haven't been doing what you do. I've been literally putting, for example, if I was writing a post for the osteopath in North London, I put osteopath North London, the name of the client. Cool. Literally, like, started doing that like a week or two ago, because I just realized, well, might as well use it if it's there. If that makes sense. It's another vehicle.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And despite all of the years of me searching, there isn't a definitive answer. A lot of clients have asked me, how many keywords can I put in the alt tag? Right, and somebody told me a decade ago, Google would read the first 12 and kind of ignore the rest. But this is not substantiated. I don't have a citation for that.
Yeah. It's also having the time to do it, I suppose.
Well, no, we just build it into the process, isn't it? But I mean, this is why we're coming to you as well, Nina, is because with Google ads, for example, if I run a Google ad campaign, I can see exactly what's working and what's not. We can experiment. And the same with Facebook ads. With a website, it's like, here's your website. Either the client likes it or it's not. I can see if it looks good or not. With SEO, there's so many people say so many different things. We try some things and we get some results. We do the same thing for someone else. We don't get results. And I just feel like we're going round and round in circles sometimes.
Well, if you've got your core fundamentals of SEO and you're applying the same methods to every single website, and some websites are responding really well and some websites aren't, it's not the SEO that's at fault. It's the actual overview of the domain itself in terms of authority. How many pages? Has it got a blog? Are the alt tags optimized? This is before you even thought about content. So, it is industry dependent as well. And I know for a fact that this industry is hyper competitive. And in terms of Facebook advertising, can you just give me a rough idea about the cost? So if I wanted a private fit test, a stool test, how much do you know if that would cost me?
I don't, to be honest, because also they don't work directly with the public. So they're a lab to lab service. And I haven't asked them what their prices are, but they did say something about they don't want to publish them because they charge different prices to different clients.
I mean, yes, But I've got a question now. Why are you Facebook advertising to businesses rather than the general public?
Oh, we're not doing Facebook ads for this client. I'm
Oh,
talking
I
about
see.
just more
Okay.
generally. It's very easy to gauge, see what's working quickly and accurately with other services that we do, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Most of our clients are local clinics.
Oh, in fact, then let me just show you. Let's have a look. Where am I? I did this yesterday. I applied for a freelancer role for a Shopify agency, and they specialize in Shopify, and they said we want a Shopify e-commerce SEO. So Shopify SEO case study. I don't know where I'm going to be without UK. Google.co.uk. But this is one of the target things that I did. There we go. So I haven't updated this, as you can see. And obviously this is an out-of-date photo. This is not showing the alt tag, but this alt tag on this image will probably be a Shopify SEO case study. And you can see the way that, because it's a case study about SEO, I've added the semantic keywords like keyword research, image optimization, metadata, unique images, on-page SEO.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
And again, another one here. So if you click that, it just goes straight to contact. That should open in a new tab. Hold that thought. And this is the client. So I've linked out to the clients on my website. I hardly link out to clients. I link out to research or articles, you know, or papers, that kind of thing, proof. But with this one being about a British chocolate company, so you can see as well is that this is again before AI, and when skyscraper content was the whole, you know, we're going to do this. This is, you know, we need skyscraper content. So you don't actually need so many words these days. I've seen short form content. What is the one that I was looking at? I think what was the medical one? I did some work for them 2 weeks ago. I've slept since then. It was something to do, I think it was blood testing. I'll come back to you on that. I'll hold that thought. Let me just write that down. So there was
I'm gonna move back into the office because this call booth is sweltering. I'm literally sweating sitting here.
Oh, bless you.
But I'm still here. I'm still
all right then. So that would be the blood ones. And I'll tell you, in fact, I know what it was, Myrna. It was wart removal.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what? I've been doing a page. We've been working for a dentist,
Yeah.
and oh God, when you're looking for stock images for it or whatever. Oh Jesus!
I know. The ones that are worse, I think, are the implants where they have all the X-rays,
Oh,
like all the screws going in. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to talk about it.
it's just so
This is
horrendous.
my clinic.
Yeah,
this
that's
is my
just the stump sticking on.
Are you back now?
What?
So I remembered what it was. It was wart removal, and then they're targeting throughout the UK. So they have got several little category pages going on, and this is my clinic here. So this is again another long-term client. We've been working together 6 or 7 years. So have a look at this. Can you see how short form this is?
Yeah.
That's it. So they've got one internal link which goes to, even if it's not actually related, if you can see the URL at the bottom, it says Botox-Derby.
Botox-Derby, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not actually wart removal, but because it's got the keyword in it as Derby. What's the other one? I think let's try. Can't remember whether it was Mansfield or not. No. There we go. Yeah. Now, what's interesting about this is that this is a more recent page, and this is kind of went ahead and did this without asking me. They created about 20 little landing pages like this, all with duplicate content. So I found out that 2 of them were duplicate content. Then I went in the back end and I saw like there was, a dozen or more than a dozen others. And I said to the client, what you do is duplicate content. And he said, I don't know what you're shouting at me for. They're ranking on Google page 1. It's like, really? God, they are. So, and I said to another client yesterday who said that a lot of his pages were duplicate content for his client. But because the website had created that unique content, it's only on their domain. Google kind of like bypasses it and you don't get, a penalty for it.
Okay.
And also these are the ones that I was looking for on the other one. It's all these internal links and all of the 20 or so location pages. As I said, I've got boilerplate content in a medical industry and they've got the same internal linking as well. So it might be worth having a go at see if you can get some quick results by whacking up a small blog. I mean, I don't know how many words this is. What, 200, 300? Doing that is at least so that you've got the domain, the URL live, which of course is going to be keyword and perhaps let's just say location and London-UK. Then you've got the pathology services and then you've got the subcategory from there, and then try linking all of those 3 together as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you say the CMS system, so is it a bespoke CMS?
No, it's called Grav. I don't know if you've ever come across it.
GRAB?
GRAV.
Oh,
The
I
website is Get
right,
Grav.
okay.
That's it. The website is called getgrav.org, I think. That's it, Grav CMS.
Oh, it's flat file. I mean, in that case, then they will have categories and tags, won't they?
Oh yeah. I believe so, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know whether mine are showing. Because I've got mine visible on the front. Oh, there's my video, look. And also, can you see that the video starts with my 3 target keywords, Shopify, SEO case, so that's 4 words. No, so I haven't got them on the front end. But the category and the tags would reflect everything from your alt tag to your H1, obviously adding the company name as well. So can I just take a breather and I want to listen to you guys again? Can you just repeat back to me what you think that you may be able to action after this call?
Well, first of all, fix the H structure and optimize the alt tags, which we should have optimized the alt tags already. Then create a blog on there and create some content that's well, maybe look at going after London or maybe even South London or something like that to begin with.
Yeah.
I believe they've got quite a few videos on YouTube as well, so we can look at embedding the videos, optimizing the videos for their keywords, and then link together. Once we've got a couple more of these landing pages done, we'll cross-link the blogs and all the different landing pages.
This is amazing. Well done. That's terrific. Salient.bio. So who do you know who Promega is by any chance?
No.
Well, I'm trying to so there you go. Is that them?
Hang on, I'm not there. You're not sharing your screen, Nina, you know that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I do. I work in IT, you know.
I would be surprised. It doesn't look like anything they would do.
No. Let's do.
I thought oh no, maybe I'm thinking of a different client, I think. Oh no, here we go. Yeah, Promega.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, sorry. That's done. Yeah, sorry, we weren't looking at the screen at that point, I think.
Oh yeah, stupid me.
At Promega, we sit on an
Okay, so it's not theirs, is it? It's Promega's videos, but maybe that's something that we could talk to them about as well.
Yeah, it would be best of all if you could have the primary Google account, for example, the one that's linked to their Google Business Analytics, Search Console, that kind of thing, to register the YouTube channel so that Google knows everything is all in one big circle.
Sure.
I'm just going to have a look for handmade chalk. I can't spell.
I'm not good at spelling.
No, I'm not.
There you go.
Handmade chocolates UK. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Oh, actually, yeah. So Rumses are there. So this is the Shopify case study. And these, yeah, so you can see 2 years ago. So these are my really rubbish videos, but they rank. I mean, I'm not a video editor. The client doesn't do any videos. So for me, for this particular client, the solution was for them to send me company images. And I just did a slideshow video and then uploaded it and optimized. So, and again, you can see here now, did you want me to talk more about video SEO?
Yeah, go on. It's something we don't know anything about, to be honest.
So it's, if you're thinking about how you're optimizing a page, which you've already got the hang of, clearly, is that the internal linking is the same importance. So the first link at the top is the one that's got the most importance. This one hasn't been fully optimized because I haven't utilized the hashtags, because you get 3 hashtags.
Oh, yeah.
Which then give you the featured videos or suggested videos next. So they actually act like a category in a CMS system, but again on YouTube. And then you've got all of, I mean, this is new. Look, I haven't seen this before. Have you?
No.
No, I was just thinking that. I was thinking, oh wow, look what she's managed to do there.
No,
and tell a lie, we have done this with some clients. And just for example, we've got an osteopath who's targeting migraines, Osteopath London. He's done several videos on migraines, which we've then embedded into the page, used as blog posts, and then put links back to the target page from the videos as well.
That's exactly what it is. And so, and again, with your tags in your categories, or rather, for example, your alt tags or your descriptive ones, you've got, I can't remember how many characters in tags that you've got, but with the description yourself, you've got 5,000 characters, including spaces. So if you're going to have a YouTube video that ranks in a competitive industry where other people are doing it, you will probably have the advantage with video SEO because they won't know how to do it.
Right.
So you've got to identify something that no one else is doing. If you're doing the same as everyone else, which is internal link and alt tags, backlinks, that kind of thing, you need to add some other arsenal.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can. I'll speak to the client about it. Maybe we can get them to,
even if it's
create
just
some video
pictures,
content.
like you said.
Well, yeah, to be honest, even if it's anything at all, and just maybe some short kind of explainer video that it doesn't necessarily explain very much. It can be very superficial, but just that is something that can be used.
Exactly, something there.
To be fair, even just getting images from the website and just putting them together as a small collage would be better than not having them there, I think.
Yeah, it would be, as I say, it's better than nothing. And although that the ranking system in YouTube is different from Google's ranking, in fact, that if you, one of the first ones is watch time, which is the SEO of dwell time. So if your video is 6 minutes long, when I was at the conference, I was just bumped into this chap and he said, oh, Nina, I saw the YouTube talk. Can you just come and have a look at our channel for us? And he was, exhibiting at this stand and everything. I was like, yeah, let's go and have a look. And all of his videos literally said, I don't know, what color is green? But they were offering a backlink service. And I said, well, you've got really nice, enticing, clickbaity title, but people aren't going to Google it or search in YouTube for it. So if people are looking for, so what is it? Are you wanting? Oh, that was it. None of their videos, and they had 3 years worth, none of them had a call to action.
Right.
Had a link to their homepage, didn't have a phone number. they were helpful videos, 5 top tips to avoid when link building. And I said, well, that's quite a negative thing. You know, I wouldn't Google search for things to avoid. I want you to give me a solution.
Not how not to do it.
Yeah. So you can, by all means, you've got 100 characters in your video, but, and again, with that, and I said, show me on your blog where this is. And he showed me on the blog, and they got the transcript of the video as blog content. Not technically duplicate content, because they've written it and it's on their YouTube channel. So I said, well, that's actually a really good start, but you just need to link to each other.
Yeah.
So I can see, look, we've talked a lot about SEO. You said you've got some other quick fire questions. Is there anything else that you need to know any more with this before we swap over?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we've got a bit of thinking to do about, well, I think we're doing the right things. It's just, it's very frustratingly slow and you know, very, very competitive, but we'll take on board the things that you said there as well and do all of those. It's just hard.
Yeah. There's actually nothing else that I can suggest, because you have hit the target, you just not hit the bullseye.
Gotcha.
So I don't think, you know, you need to go and completely revisit your methods. You just, I mean, like I do with the Victorian floor cleaning, you know, tiling thing. I went back and I improved stuff, because if I'm writing content, it looks good to me on the day. I visit a year later and, you know, I'm thinking, oh, why didn't I do that?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So some of the other things, first of all, just again, going back to the link building, like, you know, what we're doing is we're using directories because that's nice and simple, citations where more relevant, and then looking for decent and relevant sites where we can create guest posts, which we write ourselves, and then we purchase the guest post. So looking at the link profiles of most of the sites that we, not necessarily here, but with any client that we want to compete with, none of them are made up of loads and loads and loads of paid guest posts. They might have a few. And we're wondering, well, is this really the way to do it? And we're looking at what they're doing, trying to replicate it, trying to say, where can we get organic links from, and just bashing our heads against the wall, really. Occasionally we get an organic link, but my God, it takes a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with links, in the sense that I think it's my domain age. And also, my attitude, the way that I write, is the way that you're listening to me talk today, with slang and, you know, Mansfield Northernisms and all this kind of thing. I'm not really professional or I'm full of diplomacy, but it's captivating for people because it's a different writing style. I think the trouble is, in the industry that we're working in, you can't really start to say, hey, my name's Nina, go and buy a blood test from us. It's difficult, because if you want to get backlinks, it needs to be a standout piece of marketing or a piece of content. I did see, because I stalked you, I'm going to admit, of course I stalked you. On People Per Hour, you've been spending 40 quid for backlinks.
Yeah, for the sort of so basically this another guy I know who works in SEO said to me, are all these sort of like creating MySpace profile links and that sort of thing? He said he shared the spreadsheet with me. He said that's what we do at the big agency apparently that he works for, and he said, you know, here's the spreadsheet of all the ones that we build. Then when I looked at my main competitor for physiotherapy marketing agency, they had all those links as well, and this guy builds basically all of them for 40 quid. So I've been doing that for me, and I've been doing that for my clients. Then what we've been looking at as well is, you know, if we were to purchase, let's say we had, you know, 50 grand for a client, and we spent that 50 grand on the highest authority backlinks we could in a natural kind of pyramid profile of authority, would they go whoop and just rank really, really well? Or actually, is it not that simple?
You know the answer to that, and it's just 2 words. It depends.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because it would work with the handmade chocolate company, but it probably wouldn't work the first time and quickly with a medical industry client. I've had exposure to agencies over the years. One of them was part of a pay-per-click agency that offered backlinking services, another one just a pure backlinking services. Their price, and also I got a price actually last Christmas for a PR agency. Actually, that did worked really well for one of my fitness clients. They had backlinks from big names like Marie Claire. I can't name anymore, sorry, because I don't read women's magazines. But it was like how to use kettlebells for your thighs and how to lift something, you know, for, I don't know, your armpits. I've got no idea. But that worked really, really well. And I was in this chat seeing all these high profile links come in. And I said, you know, what's the price? She said, for us, you're probably looking at 1,200 quid a month. That is the lowest service that we offer. With, if I remember, I mean, the prices aren't accurate now, but I've seen some link building clients, agencies that say, yeah, we will charge £5,000, you know, to £10,000 a month.
Yeah.
But then the same agency will say, you know, do you want to sell our services to your clients for a commission? And I'm like, well, my clients like can't afford like £5,000, you know, might be able to push to 4 figures. Oh yeah, we can do stuff for £1,000. But it's like thinking, would I pay for a cheap SEO or would I pay for somebody that
has
got
I mean, we've seen as well.
It's tricky.
I've used started off using kind of just third-party building services, and what we were paying for what we were getting was just shocking. And they build a link for like 120 quid on a DA1 website with 0 traffic, and you go, wow, that's a waste of money. But then I spoke to, so now we've managed to get a lot better because we're on lots of different platforms and so on, and we shop around a bit and write it ourselves. But then I spoke to Rhino Rank, who have a £500 a month package where they build you like 5 links a month of varying quality. And the guy said to me, one of our clients is an SEO agency, I won't tell you who, but they're literally, their sole business model is take our service and charge their clients £4,000 for it. That's all they do. I was like, wow,
You can't really grumble at that though, can you?
Well, I mean, you know, if people's business is their business, but you know.
Yeah.
God's right man about making money, I suppose. Let me ask you one more question, Nina. Let me share my
I'm all yours, go on.
Can you enable my screen sharing?
Oh, I thought I did that earlier on security. Share screen. There we go.
Okay. So I'm just gonna, where are we now? Zoom. Now tell me what you think about desktop one. That's everything, isn't it? There we go. So tell me what you think, but I'm of the opinion that if I look at, for example, Salient's Google Search Console.
Yeah.
And it says to me, let's have a look what's going on.
I had to look as well because I can't remember which day of the week it was, but there was more traffic on one day of the week than there was the other.
Okay. And rubbish with Google Search Console. Here we go. So I'm of the opinion when I look at indexing and I see things like there are pages with redirects, I think, fine. They're meant to have redirects. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
There are pages with no index tags. I think fine.
That's fine.
And clients come to me and say, "When are you going to fix this?" And I go, "No, it's fine. It's not meant to be. I fixed the 404s. Yeah, absolutely. They should be redirected.
Yeah.
Look at these other things. So I've got the same problem on mine that we have this kind of dozens and dozens of pages that are not indexed, where it's kind of not indexed query strings and stuff like that. And I say, well, it's not supposed to. That's fine.
That's right. Are you looking for validation because you've got it?
Yes, basically, yeah.
Hang on a sec, Chris, just bear with me a sec.
Okay.
I might actually have to come back to you because I run an Airbnb and I think I've got a guest at the front door.
Oh, okay, fine. No, go on. Do you want to, I mean, for only 5 minutes, Nina, do you want me to just come back if there's any more questions and maybe finish off if necessary?
Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be lovely.
You've got a few extra questions in the bank whenever you want to come back. Should we do it like that? That
would be perfect. All right. Sorry, I apologise. Got to go.
No problem. All right. Thank you for your help. We'll speak to you again.
I'll keep in touch. Okay.